Well, the point I was making in the plenary session relates to the process of agreeing an objective in a multi-stakeholder process. There is one point of view that says you should start with a very clear objective, and what I was actually saying was that is in principle a very good idea. However, when you bring different stakeholders around the table, you will find that each one of them comes with their own particular objective and their own set of expectations into a process. Therefore, agreeing an objective is not a painless process. In fact, it might be painful in the sense that stakeholders will have to look at their own objective. They may have to do some negotiating and may have to give away some ground to the point where they can agree on what the objective actually is that they're all going to work towards. And I was saying that the literature on successful multi-stakeholder processes does show that if the key partners don't change their view on what their main role and responsibilities are, and then some of their core, even their core values are, as part of a process, then it's unlikely that the process will be successful. So some willingness on the part of all players to give ground in terms of what their values are, what their main roles and functions are, may be necessary in order to, in any kind of change management process as complex as urban water management, and it is a complex process. That was the main point. However, on the other side, it's very important to be honest, and if you are engaging in a multi-stakeholder process which is part of a project, the project itself has very clear objectives. These need to be made very clear to all the stakeholders so that they know whether they can actually align themselves or agree with the project objectives, if possible influence them, and then at the end of the day decide whether or not to engage with the project towards the project objectives. And that should be an honest, straightforward process that may also require some negotiation. If the project is a very flexible one that allows stakeholders really to help in the design, then of course the process is easier because then they can influence the project objectives. That was the intention of the Switch project. However, the EU project research structure for projects is not very flexible. So there were some constraints in Switch in terms of stakeholders having a real say in influencing the project objectives. That was the main point I was making. Thank you.